halfway through. The week is long, but here's something refreshingly new. This is your midweek moment on Breakfast with Friends. On Breakfast with Friends.
That's it. It is midweek moment right here on CCFM, and it is a breakfast with friends. And this time around, I mean, we are exactly a week away from Christmas. Next week, Wednesday, of course, it is Christmas Day. And Isaiah 9, verse 6 is so always so on point. For for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. We are a week away from Christmas, and it's truly such an absolutely beautiful time of the year. Families coming together, celebrating the birth of Christ, celebrating the greatest gift we could ever receive. And there's just so much excitement in the air and so much hope and expectancy. I just truly love this time of the year. It really is the most wonderful time of the year. I got me thinking of the very first Christmas though. Can you imagine? I mean, the first Christmas, Mary being this young girl who was just given the news that she will give birth to the Messiah. I mean, like, how's that? Uh, it's the Messiah, the one that was promised, the promised one they've been waiting for generations, right? I mean, like, hello, Mary, no pressure here whatsoever, right? But just imagine that first Christmas, Mary, the mother of Jesus, becoming pregnant with him. She probably felt so alone. I mean, uh, I'm sure, well, basically, few believe that a virgin had become pregnant by the spirit, not by man. I'm sure like everybody must have been talking about her. It must have been like the scandal kind of thing happening, gossip. You know how people talk. There's gossip, there's so much of things happening. Mary must have just completely felt all alone as she just roamed the streets and walked, but yet she knew and she had the promise that God gave her. But even though, she had to travel the road a long way, a long road to give birth to a firstborn, far from home, right? There was no room for her for baby Jesus in the inn. I mean, imagine that. There's no room in the inn. I mean, we have to travel and there's no room. We're like, oh my gosh, what do I do, right? So she was in a dark place, a stable to give birth. Yet that's the darkest place. That is where the light of the world came. Even in one of life's most troublesome and darkest times, she found the greatest joy and the hope of her life. It's funny though, hey, how moments where it's the darkest, the greatest amount of joy can come. I mean, imagine Mary just being there all alone, thinking, is this really what you said? But, she had that kind of faith, knowing that this is what God said. The town that we're living in now can be so hard to see what God is doing in the midst of trouble. And your heart may become callous due to circumstances around you. You may feel like He's completely forgotten about you. You may feel that, everything He's promised is just like you don't even see it. But He heals the brokenhearted and He binds up their wounds. The most important thing that I can tell you, and if you forget everything that I said this morning, the most important thing that I can tell you is that we are never alone when we know Christ. God has an extraordinary love for you, and He doesn't want you to live life in despair or hopelessness. He wants you to find joy in Him and share that joy with others. The Bible says in John 14, verse 27, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, and neither let them be afraid. Despite how you feel during the holidays, during this time, maybe you feel alone. Uh, just know that you are not alone. You are never alone. In fact, Jesus came down from heaven to be with you. That is the true meaning of Christmas. A love so great that it knows no bounds or distance. The separation you may feel from others this season is nothing compared to the distance that God has already gone for you. He is with you. And this Christmas, remind yourself that He is there with you always, and He will never leave you. Stay blessed.